How can I make a social impact of coming back to micro savings and through maybe
Hmm.
even a micro life insurance policies? So Harvard offers a program which is called an Advanced Leadership Initiative, a social impact fellowship program. So I said, okay, we'll have the best minds there. You'll have experiences from across the world, and so all that you need to do now is do whatever you think is the right thing to do. I was a very emotional person. The advice that came to me was no harm in being emotional, but don't make decisions when you're in an emotional state. Spend more to get better. You can't be a lakir ka fakir. You have to have ability to judge what is the right financial decision. Is it about saving money, being more economical with it, or is it about getting value for money? And every situation, it's a different decision to be made. So you can't have just one thumb rule on how to manage finances. It has to be balanced out with what's the objective. It has to be balanced out with what's the opportunity cost. It has to be balanced out with what is the requirement of that particular situation.
Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to the Pursuit of Finance Story Beyond Number podcast. I'm Nidhi. Together with my co host Tripti, we will go deeper into the finance careers. We will learn from the real life stories and inspirations from the leaders who have done it all. Today, we have a very special guest on board with us, Vishakha RM. She is an executive coach. She just retired as the MD and CEO of India First Life Insurance. India First Life Insurance is one of the top 10 life insurance company of India, and Vishakha has led her for more than almost 10 years and taken it to a great success. Vishakha has numerous awards for her, awards like Most Powerful Woman of the Year for the consecutive 3 years from the Forbes Business World Promising CEOs Awards, and many more awards. Vishakha is, an amazing leader. She inspires a lot of people, and today in our interactions, we hope to get many inspirations from you. So, welcome Vishakha on board.
Thank you
That's
very
first.
much, Nidhi.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Tripti.
सो विशाखा आप अपनी लाइफ स्टोरी बताइए आपका बैकग्राउंड कहाँ से आपने स्टार्ट किया एंड आपने फाइनेंस क्यों परस्यू किया.
Cool, Nidhi. I just have to remember it's a very, very long life story. I've been about working for about 37 years. I started working when I was about 23. फाइनेंस क्यों परस्यू किया क्योंकि मैं साइंस में बहुत बेकार थी. आई बैरली स्क्रेप थ्रू केमिस्ट्री. मैं मैथ्स में बहुत अच्छी थी. आई यूज्ड टू डू वेल. मार्क्स अच्छे आते थे. सो वेरी क्लियर था कि चॉइस एंड आई ग्रो अप इन द साउथ ऑफ इंडिया where you either did medicine or engineering, और नहीं तो चलो कॉमर्स कर लिया. आर्ट्स के तो मतलब ही नहीं था उन दिनों जब when I finished my graduation. So that was a simple choice. Then after BCom I joined CA. I had a very clear mandate that if I don't finish it in 3 years, my father said he'll get me married. So I finished my CA in 3 years, and and then in those days, which I'm talking about 1987, the PO jobs and the government jobs, WO jobs in insurance were the most popular. मतलब आप बहुत अच्छे थे तो IAS पहुंच जाते. अगर IAS नहीं मिला, इंडियन अलाइड सर्विसेज वो भी नहीं मिला, तो फिर आपका बैंक PO एंड इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज का होता था. So that's what I went through. I wrote those competitive exams. I got selected in जनरल इंश्योरेंस कॉर्पोरेशन का एक इकट्ठा बैच होता था. वहां से न्यू इंडिया एलोकेशन हुआ. न्यू इंडिया में आई वर्क फॉर अबाउट 13 years. फिर प्राइवेटाइजेशन हुआ तो मेरा सिंपल था, मैं यहाँ पे भी काम करती हूँ, यहाँ पे भी मेहनत करती हूँ, तो प्राइवेट में भी कर लूंगी. एंड आई जॉइन द प्राइवेट. it was difficult. I think the transition from a public sector to a private sector is very different. पब्लिक सेक्टर में अगर आप काम करने के लिए तैयार है, आपको अथॉरिटी बहुत मिलता है. यू हैव फाइनेंशियल लिमिट्स एंड ऑल. प्राइवेट सेक्टर में थोड़ा और रेगुलराइज हो जाता है. टू मच ऑफ फंक्शनल डिफरेंस. सेल्स वालों को उतना अथॉरिटी नहीं होता. वो बैक एंड फ्रंट एंड काफी होता है. सो इट वाज डिफिकल्ट. आई मेड मल्टीपल चेंजेस देयर, and before I landed up at India First Life about 9.5 years back as the MD and CEO. And yes, God has been kind. That I've had a fantastic team. and we've had a great run. And so that's my story in brief.
आपकी स्टोरी बहुत इंस्पायरिंग है। इनफैक्ट आपका विजन जो था इंश्योरेंस फॉर ऑल, वो मुझे बहुत अट्रैक्ट किया। इनफैक्ट मुझे ये भी आपसे पूछना था कि नाउ यू आर गोइंग फॉर हार्वर्ड फेलोशिप, सो आप उसके बारे में बताइए कि व्हाट रियली एक्साइटेड यू फॉर डूइंग एन फेलोशिप?
Absolutely. So, Insurance for All by 2047 is not my initiative. It is something that the Government of India and the regulator, especially the Insurance Regulatory Development Authority, IRDAI, has been very keen, as also the government. The government has been very keen on Insurance for All by 2047. I believe in it. I think the big part of it is I completely believe in it. Um, Regarding going to Harvard, बहुत simple है. You know, our बहुत साल पहले माइक्रो फाइनेंस जब आया था, 20 साल पहले प्रोफेसर मोहम्मद यूनिस जब लेके आए थे, तो उस टाइम बहुत जरूरी था माइक्रो फाइनेंस. नोबडी हैड लोन्स, माइक्रो लोन्स नहीं मिल रहे थे. आज के डेट में 4,000 से ऊपर आपको एमएफआईज एंड एनबीएफसी से सभी जो लोन देते हैं. लोन का फंडामेंटल कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं थी. आप भी सीए है, मैं भी सीए हूँ, तो हम समझ सकते हैं. यू नो, वी अंडरस्टैंड एसेट्स एंड लायबिलिटीज एंड लोन्स एंड savings. The fundamental concept of taking a loan is to create an asset which will generate revenue by which you will pay back the loan. It's a very simple, straightforward. But आज की डेट में loans are becoming consumerism. So you take a loan to have a holiday. But the holiday is not a revenue generating mechanism. So when you don't generate revenue out of a liability, you're not generated an asset out of a liability, then why have you taken a liability, right? And then what are you going to repay it from? You're going to be repaying it from your future life. So आज हॉलीडे करने के लिए आपने नेक्स्ट मंथ और उसके अगले मंथ और उसके अगले मंथ का सैलरी आपने गिरवी पे रखा, एंड बाय चांस आपका जॉब में प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है, लूज हो जाता है, यू गेट स्टक इन दिस मैसिव डेट ट्रैप. So overspending is really not the right thing, and India's backbone has been savings. अगर आज की डेट में इंडिया ग्रोथ हुआ तो एजुकेटेड, पढ़े लिखे लोग अगर गलती करना चाहते हैं तो एक हद से ज्यादा आप उनको समझा नहीं सकते. बट माइक्रो सेगमेंट में या मिसिंग मिडिल सेगमेंट जो मैं कहती हूँ, मिसिंग मिडिल वो है जो आपके घर में बाई है, ड्राइवर्स है, ये लोगों को पैसा है. They earn as much as maybe a blue collared worker, or as much as even a white collared worker, like a call center agent or whatever. But they have no education, no access to formal savings. So what can we do to reduce consumerism in that segment? Micro loans तो इतनी हाई इंटरेस्ट रेट पे जाती है, उतना हाई इंटरेस्ट रेट पे लोन लेके आपने बस दावत दे दिया. How are you going to pay it back? Why are you getting into a debt trap? How can we prevent that? So micro insurance is something which you can actually activate. So my social cause that I have is how can I make a social impact of coming back to micro savings, and through maybe even a micro life insurance policies. So Harvard offers a program which is called an Advanced Leadership Initiative, a social impact fellowship program. So I said, okay, we'll have the best minds there. You'll have experiences from across the world. I did not want to just superannuate. I don't like the word retire, Nidhi. I didn't want to superannuate and just sit around saying, okay, what do I do now? This is the best time because you're actually secure. You have nothing to prove to anybody. You've done it all, and so all that you need to do now is do whatever you think is the right thing to do. तो अभी मैं सोशल इम्पैक्ट के ऊपर सोचना चाह रही हूँ.
वाओ, ये बहुत इंस्पायरिंग है. मतलब वंस यू कम बैक एंड इम्प्लीमेंट मेनी ऑफ दोज आइडियाज, बहुत सारे लोगों की लाइफ्स पॉजिटिवली इन्फ्लुएंस होंगी. अब आई एम रियली वेरी इम्प्रेस्ड. अब मूव ऑन करते हैं. सो मेरा सेकंड क्वेश्चन है आपके लिए. यू हैव बीन वेरी सक्सेसफुल. यू हैव टेकन इंडिया लाइफ इंश्योरेंस को फ्रॉम अ वेरी स्मॉल कंपनी, इंडिया फर्स्ट लाइफ इंश्योरेंस, टू वन ऑफ द टॉप 10 प्लेयर्स. एंड आपने 10 years में आपके लिए कौन सी स्किल सेट थी जो आप अपनी सक्सेस को कंट्रीब्यूट करते हैं, वो कौन से टॉप 3 आप हमसे साथ शेयर करेंगे?
So it's actually so simple, one is resilience. मेरे दिमाग में ना एक इमेज है. I don't know if I'm sure if you go on the net you'll find that image. It is of a stork which has a frog in its mouth. Okay,
Hmm.
और वो frog वो stork का गला दबा रहा है. Okay,
Oh.
so it is like never ever let go. So keep doing it. छोड़ो मत किसी चीज को. अपने pick up किया, you do it. You have that determination, you have that resilience, and you have the hard work. I think that's how I would say. You need to. It's not easy to have a balanced state of mind. It's not easy to always keep your composure, but you have to not let go. You just can't let go. If you अगर आपने सोच समझ के कुछ काम कर रहे हो, सोच समझ के उठाया है, तो you can't enough difficulties to really upset your goals. That's part and parcel of life.
Yeah. So resilience is one of the key skill. Of course, hard work. I think
Resilience
resilience and hard
and
work बहुत important.
discipline. You cannot work without discipline.
Absolutely wonderful. And on this note, if I ask you a fun question, कैसे आपको कौन सी सुपर पावर आप एक्सपेक्ट करोगे जो सुपर पावर मिलके फर्दर आपके गोल और विजन की तरफ लेके जाएगी आपको?
It's a fun question, but I'm going to give a very serious answer. पता है कौन सा सुपर पावर? Making a right assessment. जब आप लाइफ में रहेंगे ना निधि, when you're facing a situation, so for instance, if you take a sales, because I moved to sales very early, and that's where I moved my journey. So आप sales, आप customer के सामने बैठे हुए हैं. There's some customers who want to be pushed a little. थोड़ा और push करेंगे ना, आपका sale हो जाएगा. There's some customers you just have to step back a little. If you don't step back, वो line cross कर दिया तो आपका sale बिगड़ जाएगा. That I'm just giving it as an assessment for one transaction. Okay, that's one transaction of a sale. But that whole assessment, the right assessment on how to deal. Should I be a little aggressive? Should I be a little soft? Okay. Should I push this a little more? Should I back out? Should I be sympathetic a little more? Will that be taken as a weakness? Or should I be, harsher and harder? All of those decisions can become so simple if you make a right assessment of how the other people in the room are thinking. So yes, if I had a superpower, I'd like to be sitting and saying, okay, I know exactly what Nidhi is thinking. I know exactly what anybody else is thinking. So that would be awesome.
वाह विशाखा, ये तो वंडरफुल है. अगर हम लोग सबको ये सुपर पावर आ जाए ना, कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स बहुत कम हो जाएंगे और सबकी पावर टू डू मोर वो बढ़ती जाएगी. तो ये तो बहुत ही एक्सीलेंट सुपर पावर है.
और जब तक वो नहीं आता ना निधि, अगर हम सब ऑनेस्ट भी रहे ना, एंड आई डिफाइन ऑनेस्टी एज क्लैरिटी ऑफ इंटेंट एंड थॉट. जो आप सोच रहे हो, जो आप बोल रहे हो, जो आप कर रहे हो, अगर वो तीनों अलाइंड है, दैट इज ऑनेस्टी. एंड अगर हम सब ऑनेस्ट हो जाए ना, तो भी दुनिया बहुत बदल सकती है.
That's so true. Thanks so much for sharing that. So moving on to your past couple of years and go back to your early years. ऐसा आपका कोई life experience और incidents हुआ आपकी life में, जो which changed the perspective what you see in your work or in your life. ऐसा कोई life incidents आप हमारे साथ share करना चाहेंगे?
You live a long life. बहुत चीजें होती है. A lot of things. I remember I joined the private sector. Everybody was saying आप प्राइवेट में जा रहे हैं, प्राइवेट में नौकरी जा सकती है, ये है वो है. मैंने कहा देख लेंगे, काम कर रहे हैं, जिसको मेहनत करना है उसको कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा. So I had joined a company called Cigna. Cigna Healthcare had come into the country in 2001, and we had to go make a presentation. And I went and made a presentation which was very factual. But it was factual. It was also stating problems without stating solutions. Okay. I was very young. I was just about maybe 14, 15 years of experience. And I went to make a presentation at a global platform. And it was a very good presentation. Everybody loved it. Everybody congratulated me. But it was not what the management wanted to hear.
Hmm.
So they took a decision to close Cigna down at that time, and I was out of a job. They came
Oops.
back into the country, several years back, but 20, 25 years, 23 years back, 24 years back, they closed it. Um, that was when I really understood through a very, very significantly impactful experience that it
Hmm.
is not about just speaking the truth. It's not about
Yes.
just making the right assessment and presenting. When you are in a leadership position, it is your responsibility to find a solution.
Hmm.
You can't go to your higher authorities, to the board or to senior management, saying that ये रेगुलेटरी रिस्ट्रिक्शन है और ये प्रॉब्लम है और ये प्रॉब्लम है और ये प्रॉब्लम है. हाँ, but if this was the objective that the company wanted to achieve, do you have a solution and a path to achieve that?
Yeah.
That's why you are in a leadership position. So I think it was a lesson very well learned very early on in my life that you don't go with problems. There is an objective. अगर अगर senior management को board को at a board level if they had to solve problems for you, then you don't deserve to be a senior leader.
Yeah. I think it's a very important point. Like, don't bring only the problems, bring also solution. You may seek support. Like हम बोल सकते हैं कि this is XYZ I need in order to achieve that. But not coming up with solution, then it is like, just throwing our problems. किसी और को. So that's a very important point for listeners out there. Whenever you are going, wanting a critical decision, go with a problem, go with suggested options or solutions. That is the key takeaway.
Because Nidhi, there are three layers, right? When you look at an organization, you have an operational layer, you've got a tactical layer, you've got a strategic layer, and a leadership layer. Okay. An
Yeah.
operational person also can bring operational solutions. I'm not saying
Yes.
that operational person can solve a leadership issue. She may not be able to solve a leadership issue,
Hmm.
but she will be able to provide solutions at her level. So if the operational issue is that we are not getting access to certain data on our CRM, which would simplify our conversation with customers. Instead of
Hmm.
simply saying, I have problems in conversation with customers, she can actually say, can you please give me XYZ data? Then this conversation will become easier. Because at each level, there's nobody else who has as much access to your problem and a possible solution as you yourself.
Absolutely. Very well point made. So going back, like you have had like multiple managers, mentors throughout your journey. आपको कोई ऐसा advice, career advice, which really, resonated with you for a long time? If you can share with us.
A lot, but one thing which comes to mind immediately is I was a very emotional person, and I still am.
Hmm.
Um, but the advice that came to me was you can, no harm in being emotional, okay?
Hmm.
But don't make decisions when you're in an emotional state.
Hmm.
So it's about be emotional, but don't get emotional. So
Ah.
आपको बुरा लगेगा लगेगा ह्यूमन बीइंग्स है हम ह्यूमन बीइंग्स है तो हमको गुस्सा भी आएगा रोना भी आएगा बुरा भी लगेगा वी विल हैव इमोशंस बट व्हेन आई एम मेकिंग अ डिसीजन एंड एन असेसमेंट at that time don't do it from an emotional space because then you will not get the right perspective.
Hmm.
So decision making needs to happen when you have clarity of your mind, not when you are hijacked by emotions.
That means हमें pause कर देना चाहिए उस time. Emotional ज़्यादा हो रहे हो तो decision मत लो.
Yes. Pause for perspective. That is a line that I've heard before. So it's pause for perspective. Because when you're in an emotional state of hijack, you don't have perspective.
Yeah, then you are. That is so true. pause for perspective. I think whenever we are in emotional state, that's the line to remember.
Correct.
So coming on.
And just to go on that, Nidhi, for a little more, is people say, अच्छा फिर decision delay होगा. I guarantee
Hmm.
you that जो delay होगा ना, it will be well worth it than
Yeah.
correcting the mistakes that will happen out of making a wrong decision.
Hmm.
आप इमोशनली जो अगर आप डिसीजन लेते हैं उसका आउटकम सुधारने में जितना टाइम लगेगा ना उससे कम टाइम लगेगा आपने अगर पॉज फॉर पर्सपेक्टिव किया है.
Okay. So pause for perspective. Actually, for long term, it is beneficial only. You take all your decision in a state of calm. शांत रह के
Yes.
डिसीजन होगा तो वो बेटर डिसीजन होगा.
Yes. 100%.
Absolutely. So one fun question for you. अगर आप कोई financial document होते, you can choose any financial document of your liking. What would you choose? Which represents you and why?
बैलेंस शीट कंप्लीटली. पूरा
And what is
टैली
your
हो गया,
reason?
लायबिलिटीज एसेट्स सब सही जगह पे है, एंड यू हैव अ नाइस प्रॉफिट एंड अ कैपिटल व्हिच इज एडिंग. आई वुड बी अ बैलेंस शीट.
That is nice. आपने while 10 years आपने इस company को your last company have taken from a very small new player to one of the top 10. वहाँ पे आपका क्या strategy, anything which you can share, like whenever you are in a CEO position, many of our finance professionals will be aspiring for that the most leadership position. What would be your advice to the people?
One of the things that I have always looked at is potential. Okay.
Hmm.
I have never looked at past performance as deciding. मतलब
Hmm.
अगर कोई कहता है कि we're already doing X amount. So if
Hmm.
we grow at 10%, it's fine. I never looked at life like that. I never looked at life like that, whether it's my children or whether it's my job. मैंने ये नहीं कहा
Hmm.
कभी कि तुम्हारे नेबर को इतना आ रहा है तुमको क्यों नहीं आ रहा है. It was always about can you be better than what you were yesterday if you have the potential. Okay. If you don't have the potential, then don't. We can't expect someone who doesn't have the potential to do well. But जिस चीज का आपको potential है वो कर सकते हो क्या? So we also use a terminology called zero-based budgeting. So zero-based
Yes.
budgeting is कि you look at what are your strengths, what is your
Hmm.
base, what are your resources available to you, and based on all of these parameters, assess the potential and assess the path to realize the potential.
Wow, that is quite profound, especially for the new companies, startups. This is so important, right? मतलब नहीं तो past performance देख के we can't set कि 10% grow करेंगे. It is about what's the potential where all we can grow. Excellent. Now coming
And
on
the
to another
resources
fun
that
question.
it takes. I can
Yeah.
today say that there is potential to sell to 100 million customers.
Yeah.
Yes, but now to reach 100 million customers, what is it that you need? If you
Hmm.
need 10,000 resources, then you cannot
Yeah.
build 10,000 resources in 1 month.
Yes.
Correct? So you will say, okay, 100 million, 10,000. So now what is my path to 10,000? And my path to
Hmm.
100 million based on other resources, capital, infrastructure, IT. There's so many other resources. Take all the resources and then arrive at a plan. But each time you look at a plan, don't look at past performance only, look at it as future forecasting and potential.
Wow, that is so excellent. And I think that's how even I was reading about like your company and you yourself got an international recognition from the Vanguard for the one of the most innovative solution. So that is amazing. I mean, really inspired by how you have taken this company to the to a greater success. So now a fun question for you. If you get a
Okay.
chance to have dinner with anyone in finance, like any person of your choice, who would you choose?
Anyone in finance.
Yeah, it could be anyone.
Um, the answer seems fairly obvious, right? I would probably look at Warren Buffett.
Okay.
And I would ask him, why did he wait so long? Why did, before he started making money? You know that Warren Buffett started making money only after he turned 60, right? I mean, so
Yeah.
why? What is it that he learned then because of which he could make his money?
Yeah. That's such a great answer. On this note, I would really like to call my co-host Tripti for taking you further interesting questions.
Yeah, hi. It was very interesting to talk about your journey and the very important aspect on how things specifically the resilience and so I would like to take it in a very different mode. And while I was listening, I really wanted to. You've such a vast experience, 37 years, you said, and I want to know if you must have heard about Chanakya Nidhi. When you are at different level and you were in MD CEO level, sometimes you have to play those Chanakya Nidhi roles because at the same time the management is expecting you to be something and deliver something which is very difficult in the timeline, and then you have to keep your employees as equally happy and motivated. So what has been your experience on this side? Did you find yourself to play some kind of a niti to get the best output of both the side, or was it not required?
So I don't know exactly, what you mean by Chanakya Niti, but I will look at it as follows. Okay. Have you looked at any percussion instrument?
Right.
Whether it's a veena, whether it's a tabla, whether it's a guitar, कोई भी instrument अगर आपने देखा हो, okay, it does not have only one string. It has multiple strings. Or whether if it's a guitar or if it's a tabla, it's got multiple places where you need to pull the tarpaulin taut. Correct? Even one hook is let off, you will not get the music that you're supposed to get. So a team is like that. Every member of the team has to deliver to their best if you want a brilliant symphony. So it is not about, I don't know what is a reference to Chanakya Niti. If it is being used as playing politics, my answer is no. I have never believed in playing one person against the other. That's never been my style. It has always been about being transparent and sharing and saying that ye kaam hoga nahi without all five of you supporting in this. No work can happen by one individual. Every work happens only with a team. Anything, Tripti, you pick up anything in life, nothing can happen with one individual. So my work has always been by being more inclusive. My entire style has been being more communicative, being more inclusive. मुझे लगता है जितना आप लोगों को समझाएंगे उतना लोगों को कॉपरेशन मिलेगा आपको. Nobody can say मुझे मालूम नहीं था कि आप ये काम करने के लिए जा रहे थे. Supposing you sit in the car and you tell the driver, अच्छा आप सीधा चलते जाना, मैं बताती हूँ कहाँ जाना है. Versus you sit in the car and say मुझे गुड़गांव पहुंचना है 11 बजे तक. अभी भैया देखो क्या करना है आप. Do you see the ownership that you get? You've got far more ownership here. Shared ownership. He's equally shared in making sure you reach at 11 o'clock. Whereas if you get in here and say, आप चलते रहो मैं बताती हूँ, you've not shared any ownership.
Very true, very true. But I would like to take you to your articleship period and would like to really, if you can reflect. I know that's been too long, but because I've interacted with so many, but nobody ever forgets this articleship period. So I would love to know how relevant role it played in your life. What is your advice to people who are pursuing CA or going for articleship, and otherwise as finance officers, how it is so relevant, this training period?
Extremely relevant, and you're so right. People don't forget, because I had one of my most amazing life lessons from it. First of all, I wasn't getting articleship after my BCom because everybody assumed that I would get married and go away and they would lose their articleship position because you had an only limited number of people you could take, right? Every chartered accountant can take X number. So they never wanted to take me. I finally had to use, persuasion, get my dad to call up his friend, to call up his brother to get me an articleship, and this was in Hyderabad. I was the only girl who was there in amongst 10 article clerks. After I joined, they wouldn't enroll me. You had to get enrolled in order for you to give exams. He wouldn't enroll me. And I remember having to sit and cry and say, please enroll me. I won't be able to give my November exams. Because वो 12 महीने का enrollment चाहिए exams के लिए. तो मैं रो पड़ी थी बैठ के वहाँ पे. I was standing in the corridor and crying. And I remember the senior CA coming and telling the other people, please ask her to stop crying. He sent his secretary to say, go ask her to stop crying. We will do it. Tell her to stop crying. So I was what, 20? Yeah, I was 20 years old. And I was getting very frustrated saying, why can't people believe that I'm serious? I'm serious about doing my CA. Then we got it. And the interesting thing, Tripti, I was the only person in that CA firm. First of all, I was the first woman article clerk. Second, I was the only one who completed CA in 3 years. I was the first person to pass CA inter in the first attempt, both the groups, in that firm. And after that, apparently, they started taking a lot of women. I went on all audits. Because I was leading audit by the third year, and I met my husband on one of the audits. So that's a fun fact for you. He was an accounts officer of one of the companies when I got to audit. So that's how we met. But what is the benefit of doing audits? The benefit of doing audit is a practicality. I'll give you an example of when we joined New India, and we've all joined as accounts officers. My colleagues who came in from accounting background of maybe a cost accounting or just straight from college or an MBA had never seen a voucher in their life. Okay. जब वो ब्रांच में पहुंचे और ड्रॉस खोला with all bills,
They must be
no
all like
idea what to do.
Yes.
I had no idea what to do. Whereas I was completely clear. हाँ, ऐसे क्या प्रॉब्लम क्या है? वॉचर बुक निकालो, बिल्स निकालो, वॉचर्स लिखना शुरू करो. Because you know that it starts from vouchers and then it goes into ledgers. These people have only seen problems of ये trading P&L account में ये है तो how will you solve it?
Right.
So hands-on experience जो आपको मिलता है, which serves you all through your life because your foundation and your fundamentals are completely clear.
So I can truly say, and I think it has been a common question I don't forget to ask is, and it is so relevant to have this practical experience because at a very early stage, not only you are exposing yourself to practical experience, but you're also, learning how to manage people at a very early age.
Yeah.
Which is the most difficult aspect even if you're MD of a company. So,
absolutely.
And as soon you can learn how to deal with people, the better you are. So with this, I have a follow-up question. You must have come across different people in finance role, like chartered accountants, CMAs, and MBAs in finance. What would be your feedback or advice to people, our audience, on that what is that matters finally as a finance person? And in your scenario, you have changed the role from just being a chartered accountant doing accounts or auditings. You have been in a different sales role as well. So what is that you would like to suggest as a career advice?
So the lot of things, Tripti, thank you for asking that question. There are a lot of things, but two things I will actually talk about. One is, chartered accountancy, by virtue of the way the course is extremely detailed, right? And you get all the basics, all the nuts and bolts. Sara malum hai. Sometimes, because you know so much detail, you forget to zoom out and look at strategy. You just get caught in that operational details. So I would say that the fact that you know so many details should actually give you the ability to zoom out and look at it from an overview of the outside and then zoom in wherever relevant. So that ability to zoom in and zoom out is something that I would strongly encourage every CA to do. Most people have a problem in detailing. as chartered accountants, you don't have any problem in detailing. No, ऊपर से
Never,
देखना है
never.
तो you can always
Yes.
zoom out. So do it. So just do that. It's like, I give an example since we're all women on this podcast. If you've ever seen a dining table laid out, okay, एक आप ऊपर से नजर मारोगे कि टेबल क्लॉथ मैच हो रहा है, कटलरी मैच हो रहा है, एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट, एंड देन you'll zoom in and say वो स्पून गलत स्पून लगाया, वो स्पून हटा दो. Correct? So it's a very simple example I'm trying to give, but that applies everywhere. The other thing is materiality and judgment. You need to know when a 1 rupee difference cannot be let go, and when even 1,000 rupees can be let go.
That is so
That's
important.
context.
Yes, you're right. So relevant. I mean, somehow I feel in finance career we get so much in depth in things that situations are, we ignore the situation, or also we hardly understand prioritizing things. What to be prioritized and how to be prioritized. It has been not a finance challenge, but overall challenge in the industry, that what to prioritize in your daily work, what can be skipped, or what can be done passed on. That kind of clarity is so important. I still remember when I was with PwC, my bosses were always happy with me because I was the one who would always follow up with them. They don't have to remind. I think that kind of approach really helps. So thank you so much for highlighting that very important thing beautifully. And with this, I would say every person, specifically you, have gone in different roles, and I would say that there must be different challenges in different role, and there must be setbacks also for you. But what kept you motivated and, I mean, so fit all these years? And I would love to hear more about it.
Um, Challenges will always be there. हमेशा रहेंगे. But you need to understand what's the purpose of your life. And I was very clear that to realize your potential is the purpose of my life. भगवान हर एक को सीए नहीं बनाता, right? Bhagwan does not give, everybody is not born with equal opportunity. So if you don't make the most of what you have been given, you're doing a disservice to nature, which has given you so much. So for me, it was never about working for the boss, working for the money, so it was always about working to your best optimum potential. So each day is, can you raise the bar higher? Each day is, can you be a better person today than you were yesterday? And competing against yourself is fun.
I think it's a great feedback to the audience that at the end, try to find out what you enjoy. You may do a different decision over the period. I'm a chartered accountant, but I'm doing more of a Woman Innovator, which is a social initiative. So, and I thoroughly enjoy. And morning, night doesn't matter. Like hardly matters at all.
So I just want to correct you there, Tripti. More than what you enjoy, you should also look at what you're good at.
Yes, true.
I may enjoy certain things, but if I'm not, I may enjoy dancing. But if I'm not good at dancing, then I'll never realize the best. I'll never be the best version. So it's good to also know what is it that you're good at. आपका टैलेंट किस में है, आपका सोच कहाँ पे है, अगर and then because then you're playing to your strengths, likes में, and then you can start liking what you are good at, because then it's the best thing, right? Because you're playing to your strength.
I think this is
Sorry, I had to interrupt you there.
No, I'm really happy that you pointed this out. And I remember always during your previous years, you were always brought up by parents like you should be good at everything, or मतलब जो तुम्हारी weakness है उस पे काम करो, you are weak at this. But you're so you actually pointed so important aspect that it is so important to focus on strength. People start trying to be good at everything instead of focusing on strength, and people who focus on strength can make it out so good. अब चाहे आप हिंदी में बात करो या इंग्लिश में, if you can take it out give a clear message is what is important. So true.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, Tripti, it is not just about not working on what it's about an acknowledgement, as you said, of I know this is what I'm really good at, and I know this is not. But other the areas which you're not good at are also needed in part.
Hmm.
It's good you acknowledge, it's okay, have that self-esteem to say these things I'm very good at, these I have to work on, I have to develop. That's it.
Right, right. So true. With this, I would like to go on your decision from shifting to a finance industry to a role of sales, right? And I would like to, why I'm asking this is sometimes people think at a very early stage, this is what I want to do. And I want to emphasize on this that even at the age of 35, you may end up realizing that this was not something I wanted to do. This is what my, strength or passion lies in. What is your advice to people? Should they really worry about what qualification they did and should stick to it? We have changed paths. You have changed paths so beautifully and excel so well. What is your view on this to the audience, Saka?
So, for me, my decision to change paths came from a single objective that if I'm going to work, I want to be fully employed. So, I was an accounts officer, and then accounts had moved to computerization. Okay, so I used to come to office literally and just be doing data verification. And I remember going and telling my boss, saying, "So, मैं ऐसे नहीं आ सकती हूँ. I can't justify leaving children at home and coming to office and not really contributing." And they were like, "What's wrong with you? आप आ जाओ, आप अपना salary लो, आप अपना chartered पकड़ के घर जाओ." And I'd be like, "नहीं होगा मेरे से. If I'm coming, I want to be able to give it my best. I want to work full time." So that's how I moved into sales. They said, "Okay, then go handle a branch." So I went and started managing a branch. So one is about be very clear about being honest and always wanting to do the best. Things just open up. Be open to change. Be open to learning. I think learning is a lifelong process. अगर मैं सोचूं मैं CA कर दिया and long back and I don't learn today, whatever we learned in CA is not even relevant anymore. All of you who are doing CA now are probably doing subjects that I never even knew about. So learning has got to be constant.
Yes, more than that, now is a time of audit tech, then audit. And most of the things have been automized, and
Yeah.
monotony in accounts and auditing has been completely redundant. So it's not that you are
Yeah.
spending the same amount of time in doing something. So yeah, things have completely changed, and even like we have to keep learning at whatever age. Thank you for pushing on that one. I mean, it's so important to keep learning, whether you're in whatever area. With this, I would like to ask, what finance professional you think as a professional finance professional one should do more of or stop doing few things if you would like to, and will your answer differ in case of a man and a woman? Would love to hear from you.
So I think as a finance professional, you need to always have the right judgment. Um, so people talk about how you have a budget, you stick to a budget. Sometimes you should, and sometimes you should not spend your complete budget also. And sometimes maybe you actually need to spend more to get better. It's it you can't be a lakir ka fakir. You have to have an ability to judge what is the right decision, what is the right financial decision. Is it about saving money? Is it about being more economical with it? Or is it about getting value for money? And every situation, it's a different decision to be made. So you can't have just one thumb rule on how to manage finances. It has to be balanced out with what's the objective, and it has to be balanced out with what's the opportunity cost. It has to be balanced out with what is the requirement of that particular situation. So that's one point I would definitely say. But when it comes to differentiating between genders, I would look at it as at a leadership level rather than at a finance professional. And I would say at a leadership level, we've all heard this saying about men are from Mars, women are from Venus, right? We've all heard this statement of how um, Porsche and Me Too have made men uncomfortable. And I would like to say that I think it's very sad if people think that way, because this balance that I'm talking about, this judgment, is brilliant when you can actually have both the genders working together. For example, we all say it's a generalization, but sometimes generalizations help to make a point. We agree that women, when they have a discussion and they have a fight, they try to get into the bottom of it, and they try to analyze. They say, why you said this, I said this, why did you say this, what was your context? And you try to arrive at the bottom of it. We also hear that men have a fight and they'll just let go and they'll say, chal ek beer pee ke aate hain. Okay. Neither of it is the right thing. Because here you have to understand and agree on what were the issues that needed to be addressed, so that it doesn't just become about whoever is louder gets the voice. And here women have to know what are the points that they need to drill down, what they don't need to. So when you come together, you'll achieve a balance of the right points that you need to drill down and resolve, and the points that you can just let go and you don't need to resolve because it's momentary. That whole balance comes when you have a perfect gender equation.
I think, Vishaka, we can do a back-to-back series with you. There's so much of things, coming out of my mind, but keeping the time keeping the time thing. I would like to ask very important thing today. The landscape is definitely professionals, going in service, everyone focusing on earning, whether entrepreneur or not. But COVID has taught us that community is a key for survival. Do you think now it is equally important to be community person than just a professional or an entrepreneur for being successful in your professional journey or community journey? What is your view on that?
So I think we had always been very clear that it is you are a part of a whole and a whole by yourself. I think there's no taking away. You have to be a complete individual by yourself, and you have to be a part of the whole, right?
True, so true, so beautifully answered. I think with this, I have any book or movie you would which inspired you and keep reminding you of something you would like your kids to watch more and more often, and why?
um, so there are lots. I am a very avid reader, and I take lessons from every movie I watch. मैं कुछ भी movie देखूंगी तो we will discuss and analyze and say, what was the learning from this movie. So Tripti, honestly, if you want to learn, the entire world is your teacher.
True.
You can learn from a child you bump into in the lift about concentration. If the child is focused on eating his lollipop, he's focused.
Yes.
You can learn about concentration from there. You can learn from the world. The world is your teacher.
So well, like explained. Actually, I think with this, I really want to ask, because in all our journey, we learn from a lot of people. I mean, a few, like you said, we can learn from a lot of people, but I'm sure every woman, every person actually, need and have learned through few mentors and through coach. I would really want you to call out few of them so that we can thank them to shaping up such a beautiful soul today we are interacting with.
It would be completely unfair on my part to name any specific people who helped me on the journey. It would be so unfair because, as I said, you can learn from the world, you can learn from everybody who's interacted with you. I top of mind, I remember the person who was my coach. I remember my CEOs who. I remember CEOs who encouraged me. I remember CEOs who put me down and made me want to fight back. I I remember a record clerk who taught me what filing looks like and how to refer to a tariff. There were my juniors who taught me what NAV meant. I mean, there is this contribution of so many meet people, Tripti and Nidhi. You can. It is totally unfair to attribute it to one. It's like sitting in a classroom. If you think it's only your teacher from whom you have learned, it's so wrong, right? Because your friends, the backbenchers, your front benchers, your friends around you, the the caliber of discussions around you, everything teaches you everything. So I would like to thank every individual who's been on this journey with me, every person who put out a hand when I needed it, gave me a nudge when I needed it, gave me a poke sometimes when I needed it. I think thank you for giving me this opportunity to acknowledge every individual, whether it's family, friends, um, and colleagues, bosses.
Wow.
It takes a village to raise a child, and it takes acknowledgement
So true.
of every single person who's crossed your path and to be who you are.
Right, and I would like to really congratulate you for choosing the path after such a long journey of putting so much and giving so much to the country. To think of going for Harvard for your course of working on social sector. So hats off to
Exactly.
you for choosing that, because giving that time for this segment is a very very, I mean, very important, like a very good thought. And with this, I would say that, you've been working very passionate about women, and you're very passionate about diversity and equity as well. Would you like to really share with our audience what is inspiring you for that, and what are the initiatives which you're really proud of?
Huh. One of the things that I try to make time for is anybody, any platform where they want to talk about, gender equality. I would only say that we don't need to be either defensive or offensive. We just need to accept things as they are. There will be a world which has biases. There is no point in getting offended or being defensive. Just
Right,
accept that this is what it is, and then see how do you surmount that challenge. What have we done in when I was CEO? We did have a lot of policies that were pro, and then of course it has to be any platform that gave me an opportunity to talk about it. That's what. And now I will get into executive coaching and mentoring, so that's another payback that I will do.
I'm sure we would love to have you part of Women Innovators, so that mentor, so that you can actually contribute and support so many of our women incubators. With this, I would end on a lighter note. Imagine that you're asked to leave a forest right now, and you're asked only to pick two things. What would that be, Vishaka?
Say that again. If you asked to.
You are told to move to a forest right away. It's a kind of emergency. You have to rush. And what are the two things you would like to pick in that emergency? Only two things you can carry.
Um, so maybe a toothbrush and maybe a knife.
Yes, definitely a knife to protect yourself. Normally, people choose it a matchstick and a knife to light up during dark. So yeah, thank you so much. I think I don't feel like stopping this beautiful conversation with you, Vishaka. It was like so much to learn, and like I said, we can go on. And thank you so much for your time and for such a beautiful message to our audience. We with this once again, thank you so much everyone for listening, and we will be back with the next wonderful podcast and stories beyond number. Thank you so much, Vishaka and Nidhi. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vishaka. Thank you, Tripil.